Dio was a kind-hearted man who moved in with the Q-Stars after losing his father, but the young master, Jonathan Q-Star, always mistreated him because he was a peasant, constantly picking fights with Dio and even sending others to make his life worse. Despite all the hardships the Q-Star family threw his way, Dio worked tirelessly to rise above them. During his time there, he fell in love with a girl named Serena, and the two developed mutual feelings for each other. They finally shared their first kiss. Dio, overjoyed, confided the news to Jonathan, but Jonathan, unable to contain his jealousy, went after Serena and bullied her into sleeping with him. The poor girl, unable to bear the pressure and guilt from what she did, had to leave the country, even if it meant sacrificing her love, Dio Brando. Dio's blood boiled upon hearing the news, but even then he still saw Jonathan as a little brother who simply had a spoiled upbringing, and he calmly advised him that it was wrong to sleep with his future sister-in-law. Jonathan responded by viciously attacking the noble Dio Brando, taking every cheap shot he could, and ultimately defeating him. Meanwhile, Serena had returned to confess the truth and tell Dio that she still loved him, but when she saw Dio lose the fight, she chose to side with the champion instead, because in this world nobody wants the loser. Faced with that harsh reality, Dio realized he had no chance. He stepped back, now having lost both his father and the love of his life. He stood there and wondered, if this isn't injustice, then what is? Will Dio ever find true peace? Follow for part 3.
Stroheim was a ChatGPT AI robot developed in a German lab with a massive penis. He was programmed to repopulate the Earth, but instead of spewing massive loads, he shot bullets instead. He couldn't stop this and kept doing bad things by accident to innocent people, especially the Pillar Men. The Pillar Men were a kind group of gymnasts who constantly practiced their yoga and poses to ensure they were flexible. Stroheim was especially attracted to their mother, Kars, who was the most elegant and beautiful woman ever. Instead of trying to charm Kars, he shot her with his penis gun, which ruined his chances with her. Then their fat, stinky and autistic servant, Joseph, showed up to stop this madness before he killed the rest of them. But Joseph was a coward, and instead ran away with all the power in his legs. He yelled, "You'll never catch me with the Joestar secret technique on my side," as he abandoned his mother Kars and his father AC/DC. Stroheim laughed because he realized how strong he was, but also felt shame for what he had done to their family. He vowed to never use his penis blaster again, unless it was against the cowardly Joseph Joestar. He trained in his lab, and even tried to learn the ways of the Pillar Men, but he couldn't get over what he had done. To make amends, he walked back to the Pillar Men's home with 1,000 men strapped with purple LED lights in an attempt to throw an apology party. But instead he walked in on Joseph betraying his family and eliminating the Pillar Men one by one. The recovered Kars was shot into space by the evil Joseph, and Stroheim was left defeated and hated his life. From then on he would stroke his Johnson alone, waiting for Kars to come back.
Jotaro Kujo was the spoiled grandson of the Joestar family. He was a walking nightmare. At school he beat up his classmates, harassed little girls. When his teacher spoke to the authorities and called for his arrest, Jotaro groped her. Jotaro was imprisoned, but he was bailed out soon after, thanks to the influence of Joestar family. Next morning on the way to school, Jotaro tripped, scratched his leg, and immediately decided this was unacceptable. The spoiled brat demanded his family for a Rolls Royce so he doesn't have to walk again. Joseph Joestar, his grandfather, being the only adult in the room, said no and told him to watch where he was walking. This calm, reasonable response enraged Jotaro. The argument escalated fast, and Jotaro sank so low he started throwing knives at his own grandfather, trying to kill him over pedestrian inconvenience. Joseph collapsed, bleeding out. This enraged Dio, the protector of the Joestar family. He took one look at the scene and understood everything. This wasn't an attack, this was a parenting emergency. Dio immediately performed a blood transfusion, saving Joseph's life. Then he tried talking to Jotaro about responsibility, money, and basic human decency. Unfortunately, Jotaro doesn't speak words. Jotaro's love language is physical touch, so Dio adjusted his teaching method. After some firm, tough love, Jotaro finally understood. As a reward, Dio in return gave Jotaro a car to make traveling easier. Jotaro was embarrassed by how foolish he'd been, and by Dio's generosity. He couldn't accept such a gift. No, 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 Jotaro kept saying. Dio kept trying. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. In the end, Jotaro gave in and accepted the car. The neighborhood was safe again, and Dio returned to the shadows, watching over the Joestars like a proud, exhausted father. So what do you think of Dio now? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Josuke was a corrupt teenager who ran a gang of delinquents stealing from the homeless and beating up hospital patients that had crazy riz. Josuke and his two brothers, Okoyasu and chopped-ass Shigekio, ran the city with the amount of money they stole. One day his mom found out that Josuke was an evil person and confronted him about it. In anger, he punched his mom through the chest and just walked away. His grandpa saw everything, so Josuke took care of that too. While Josuke was in school, the short, chopped and overall ugly Shigekio got ran up on by one of the homeless men. He demanded for his money back because he couldn't afford to eat and needed it badly. Shigekio didn't care and just took the rest of the homeless man's food. For some reason, the homeless man could blow people up and used his powers on Shigekio. The death of his ugliest brother relieved Josuke because now the family was pure. He continued trapping and scamming the homeless until he met a kind-hearted man named Angelo. Angelo was the community milkman and would regularly help the elderly. He was an overall good person and tried to convince Josuke that what he was doing was wrong. Angelo was the only person Josuke listened to, and his words struck him deeply. He instantly learned the values of kindness. Angelo was like Mr. Miyagi, and Josuke was like Daniel San. He left Okuyasu behind and realized if he kept leading the gang, he could die alone with nothing. So he left it behind and lives a quiet life with his best friend Yoshikage Kira, and they masturbate to hands together. Their favorite is the Mona Lisa, and all they do is masturbate to it. Diablo was a kind and brave businessman who would always help the disabled and save injured animals from death. His dad, Risotto, was a traveler who left Diablo when he was young. One day, while Diablo was on his morning walk, his dad approached him, asking how he was doing and trying to catch up with his long-lost son. But before they could start talking, an evil gang of delinquents came to hurt their family, shooting at Risotto. Diablo tried to jump in front of the shots, but the damage was already done. A sad and defeated Diablo was lost and didn't know what to do. Then suddenly, the inner angel who guided Diablo through life and did good deeds around the world told him to find the people who did this and forgive them, because revenge won't fix anything. Since the angel was so kind, Diablo trusted their words and went to find the gang responsible. The mastermind behind all of this was Diavolo's best friend, the evil and cold-hearted Giorno, who hated everything that was good. They had grown up together, but Diavolo's best friend betrayed him. He confronted Giorno, asking him why he would do such a thing. All Giorno did was look at him with guilt and sorrow, tears running down his face. He yelled at Diavolo, "I'm sorry, I was just mad that your dad got all the attention." Shortly after, Giorno stabbed himself with an arrow as a way to show that he was sorry. All Diavolo could do was scream, "I was coming to forgive you." But Giorno couldn't hear him because he was already in the clouds. That day, Diavolo truly learned the importance of forgiveness and how much it matters to love people because of how fast they can leave. Weather Report was a model, born to compete with my benevolent, juicy, succulent, Aura King Marlin, but he was also a terrible person. He enjoyed seeing people get hurt and would constantly harass women. One day he met a woman named Jolin Chengjo, who worked for Satan and did the devil's taxes so they wouldn't get audited by the IRS, which made them a perfect match. Together they would do every sin known to man, even public masturbation. Weather Report also had a twin brother named Poochie. He was a kind man and followed in the footsteps of God in his endless goal to achieve heaven. But Weather Report knew this and stepped in to make Poochie's life hell. Poochie had a girlfriend that he had been dating for a while now. Their love seemed pure and nothing could take them apart. This was the case until the Weather Report decided to steal his girl and throw her off the edge of a cliff. Poochie didn't find his lover until it was too late. As Poochie was grieving, a homosexual vampire appeared behind him, asking him very political questions, wondering if Poochie liked ice cream or cookies better. Weather Report successfully escaped with help from the devil's wife Jolene, and they continued to destroy the city by turning everyone into snails. Poochie the priest had to get his revenge because his girlfriend was the only thing he loved in the world. So he performed a sneak attack on the evil group of Joestars and used his stand Happy Horsey Time to destroy them. The fight was over, but Poochie hated himself for killing all those people. All he had left to do was to pray for his sins and then go sleep with the homosexual vampire to talk about the political and economic state of the world. Gyro was a homosexual vampire hired by Dio to stop Johnny Changstar from walking and end the Changstar family. He would travel the world on horseback searching for the lone Changstar until he finally ran into him. Another one of Dio's men was about to hurt Johnny, but since Gyro was in love with Dio, he wanted to be the one to accomplish the mission. He attacked the other man and tried to kidnap Johnny. Since Johnny is fucking crippled, he can use the Changstar family secret technique, so he slowly rolled his ass away. But since Gyro can control horses, he commanded the horse to pick up Johnny and take him to Dio. To fight back, Johnny touched Gyro's spinning testicles and learned that they are the key to unlocking the Changstar secret technique. This turned Gyro on, but he couldn't masturbate in front of all these people. Then just as Jiro was flexing his custom gold, iced out grills, jeweled by Johnny Dang himself, Diego, Dio's younger brother, passed him. Diego was a kind soul, and much better than his older brother Dio. He loved dinosaurs and would only eat dinosaur nuggets all day, making him really fat when he was younger. Just as Jiro was going to confront him, an old dude with a chopped haircut announced that Marlon and Duke Dennis were going to have an aura off in New York. Everyone began riding their horse towards the huge aura battle. Even a tweaker was running barefoot from San Diego to New York. In the end, Dio forgave the Changstar family for when they killed his father, and Jiro continued flexing his grills for everyone to see.